Hey guys, it's Megan. I'm back. Sometimes I start talking before I see the little counter going. In my last video I ended telling you I finished this movie called God's Not Dead. It's a very profound movie about this. There's intertwining stories. There's things that happen throughout the movie to other people around, but the premise of the movie is there's this kid who signs up for a philosophy class, and he meets this. They start the lecture. The professor introduces himself, and the first assignment was for everybody to take out a piece of paper or sign this piece of paper that he gave you, and you're simply supposed to write "God is dead" and sign your name. Well, he said, don't spend time trying to debate it. You're gonna fail if you try to debate it, and blah blah blah. Well, this one kid who stands on his own convictions and his own beliefs says, I can't do that. Deny me to my father, or deny. If I deny you to my friends, you're going to deny me to your father. I know it's not exactly worded that way, but that's the gist of it. Whereas if you say that I don't exist, then I'm going to say the same thing about you when you come to heaven. It's a premise that all these big speakers, these big, poets and philosophers and thinkers and engineers and whatnot that he had on a list, they all had one thing in common: they were atheists. They talked about the Big Bang Theory, being that's how the Earth, how we all became how we became. And this one kid said, I can't do that. So the professor is like, you know what? So 20 minutes of the next 3 lectures, you convince this entire class because you're the only one that wrote God is not dead. So, he's able to get most of his class to come around and stuff. Unfortunately, the professor doesn't until the end, and it's very profound and very sad. It's very liberating at the same time. Um, the Duck Dynasty guy was there with his wife in the movie, and I've watched a lot of Christian-based movies, and I recognized a couple of the actors that were in there from ones I'd seen before. And I'm interested in seeing a few more that I've found on, what did I find them on? On Netflix, through Vudu, through this free site that I go to. I love Christian music and videos. I love the the movies that are relatable. I read the Bible. I'm not as big on the biblical stories and, like Samson and Delilah and, I didn't watch Passion of the Christ or I've seen the Ten Commandments as a child, and I mean, that's good. You know, I'm more about the Christian-based movies like Fireproof and Courageous and God is Not Dead and, Faith is Like Potatoes and I don't know if it's unconstitutional, or I don't know. I've seen so many Christian faith-based movies. They really speak to me. And being that, Christianity is very important to me, sometimes I feel, and this is hard to say it, I believe, I feel like my soul is starving for some fellowship and for some message, the word to help, I feel like sometimes I really need to just sit there and get a dose of it. It's like when you go to the doctor and they give you a shot, give you an allergy shot or give you a shot of, antibiotic. It's to help heal you. Well, sometimes when you feel really down and you're having like a really rough time, and I've had those times, or times you're struggling with something, you feel like you really just need to have that. You just need a little bit. And going to church is good and everything, and being around people like that is good, but sometimes you need more, and that is what I needed, and it's helping. Um, let's see how to put this the right way. I don't believe in all the other, I don't believe in every religion that's out there. I have my faith and my convictions, what I've been taught and what's been proven to me. I don't believe when somebody says there's not a higher being, there's not a God. I want to say, how'd you get here? And they want to start talking about the Big Bang and evolution. But in the end, somebody had to create all of it, which meant there had to be somebody to start it, which is the Almighty, the All-Being. That's God. You might not agree with, oh, you know, if God doesn't exist, or if God existed, why did all those people die in that missing Malaysia flight? Or why did, you know, the Oklahoma City bombing, why did so many people die? 9/11, why did so many people die if God was there? Okay, what about those guys who managed to get that plane down in that field? What about those that came and was there helping to pull the bodies out of the rubble? Where was God? God was there. He was providing the people. God gave us free will. You know, he can't say, God, I want free will, but then why did you let that happen? Well, free will is what led to somebody doing that. Evil is bad. Evil is, you know, it's you have good and evil. You have good and bad. You know, sometimes the bad outweighs the good, but really the good should outweigh the bad. You have to have the bad sometimes to understand what the good is. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it. God's protecting the ones that are left behind. He can't, he's an almighty being. If you practice free will, it's kind of like you're saying, you know, like what some people are saying with gun rights and stuff. You can have, you know, the Second Amendment. You have the right to arms, but only when I say you can have them. No, you don't ask for free will, but only when you say I can have free will. So if somebody exercises their free will and it takes somebody else's life, that is wrong, but there would be no free will if somebody stepped in and said, wait a minute, that happened, you let that happen. How could you let that happen? It's free will. It's really hard to get people to understand. I don't believe that all tragic events had to happen. I see redemption. I see, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, I see the faith in people. I see the hatred in others, but it's just my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to close this one out, and I will be back again because I have a few more things to talk about, and then I'm going to upload my other stuff, so you guys might get a lot of uploads from me today. But, if you get a chance, watch God's Not Dead, and study what the word is for that, and just really think. It's easy to say there's not a God. It's harder to prove that there is one. Alright. Bye.